Hey everyone, my name is Dr. Kurt Fiznick, and we're doing a doctor's clinic call from my truck. We're on our way from where we left Omaha. We had a great presentation last night, and well, you can't have yours going at the same time. And we had a great presentation last night. I'm driving up to Minneapolis with Andrea. Andrea, yeah. Let you run the camera here since
Hi
I'm
guys.
driving.
Hi Jane.
Hey Jane, we were just going to talk about your husband Jim.
Yeah. Go ahead, Doc.
Well, so I thought it'd be interesting to kind of have a recap of the last week's events, the things that we've heard, the things that we've seen. It's been a lot of fun, hasn't it, Andrea?
It's been great.
It's great. What a great short answer. But we really have had a lot of fun. We've had a week of driving around the country. We've been from Wisconsin, Michigan. We've been through Ohio, Tennessee, Mississippi, up through Arkansas, Texas, Oklahoma, Kansas, Nebraska. Now we're in Iowa. We'll be up in Minneapolis here in just a couple hours. And, one of the first testimonials that I really wanted to share with everybody, is talking about your husband, Jane, Jim. Wasn't that an interesting testimonial, Andrea?
Yeah, it was a really good one, and it was a very common thing that people deal with. So basically, Jim said that when he laid down at night, his blood pressure was so high that he had pounding in his ears. And after he had taken a, Four Restore.
The Four Restore.
Four Restore for a couple of months, that went away. So, Doc, why was that? What happened?
Well, the thing about Four Restore, it's got a number of ingredients, amino acids. One of them is L-arginine, and L-arginine, it got the scientists who worked with that, they got the Nobel Prize in 1998 because they discovered that L-arginine, what it did is really, and I'm going to simplify it for everybody, is it works like a roto-rooter and cleans the arteries out, gets the plaquing out, and what that does, it makes the arteries so that they can stretch. And when your heart beats, you've got the systolic and you got the diastolic blood pressure. And what that basically means is that your heart is pushing, and when it pushes, it increases the blood pressure. That's the higher number. That's the systolic number. And your arteries have to stretch to accept that blood pressure. Well, if there's a lot of plaquing, those arteries get hard, and so when the heart beats, it causes increased pressure in the pipes. And so by using the Four Restore with the L-arginine, the L-citrulline, and the different ingredients that are found in the Four Restore product, it restores the integrity of the arteries, and that's how it works. So we can't say that there's science that says that that our product lowers blood pressure, but we can say that there is science backing us up on the ingredients. So that's a good, simple answer on it. And how many people do you know, just by a raise of hands, how many people do you know? I mean, who knows somebody that has high blood pressure?
Yeah, give us a heart.
Right? Give us a thumbs up or a heart if you know somebody that has high blood pressure, and who wouldn't mind watching their blood pressure go down. What other story? What's the one that comes to mind when you think of all of our testimonies?
Well, it's not so much the testimony, but we visited one of our team members down in Mississippi, Dr. Thomas Lucky, and he has an amazing amount of very unusual quantum energy devices for helping people, and has people come in from all over the country to see him and meet with him. But we also had a meeting there, and he talked about people getting their hair back. So what do you think about that, Doc?
I thought that was interesting. I thought he was going to start talking about, all these different medical conditions that he had treated. And right away, he went right into talking about hair restoration. And what did he list? Like 5 or 6 different clients, different patients that he has, including himself, that their hair came back. How many people do you know that would like to have their hair grow back? I mean, raise your hand if you know somebody, give us a thumbs up if you know somebody that wouldn't mind having some hair grow back. I mean, I've got a bald spot up here. I wouldn't mind having that feeling a little bit better.
Right, but Doc's bald spot isn't as big as it used to be because he's using the H pill. We have the H pill bringing restoration to our body, regeneration, and many people are getting hair restoration with that. So let's see, then we moved on over to Texas and dodged 2 tornadoes there.
That was in Oklahoma.
Oh,
or no, we were in Texas.
That was
yeah.
Texas, and there were actually 2. It was sirens were going off, and there were 2 that they took pictures of that were landing pretty close to where we were. But we just went on over to a doctor's clinic, had a nice little meeting there with some people. Is there anything you want to say about that meeting?
You know, I think that my friend Dr. Jim up there in Texarkana, him and his wife Vicky and their office manager Stephanie, they're really gonna make some things happen up in that corner of the world, and we're gonna be working with them up in Texarkana.
Yep. So then we drove on over to Tulsa, Oklahoma, and met with some people there. Had a nice little group of people there. In the best Mexican restaurant Doc and I have ever eaten in, I think. They had fabulous, fresh made food. It was really good.
Chuy's Restaurant.
Chuy's.
Chuys.
Right.
If you ever get down to Tulsa or Texas, they've got, what did he say, 11 locations down there?
Right. Yep. Hi Vicky. Hi Rose. Hi Ricardo. So anyway, in Tulsa we had another fabulous testimony. I'll let you tell them about that, Doc.
Oh man, you know, when Bob got up and told his story, he said that he started taking the H pill, what was it, about 8 months ago?
It was like shortly after, almost a year and a half, I think.
Oh, has he been taking it? Okay. Anyhow, you know, when Bob started taking it, he didn't know what kind of results he was going to get. I mean, you just don't know what kind of results you're going to get. He's worn glasses. I mean, I would guess that Bob is probably 60, right? And Bob, if you're watching, I mean, I that's what I would guess, maybe around that age. And anyhow, he started taking the H pill, and he went to see his doctor for his optometrist, and he had 60% improvement in one eye and 40% improvement in the vision in the other eye. And his doctor told him, he said, you don't need to wear your glasses anymore. Just wear them at night when you're driving. Otherwise, you don't need to wear your glasses. Isn't that amazing? And again, you know, give us the thumbs up. Give us the old smiley face. If you know somebody that wouldn't mind getting rid of their glasses.
Right. Yeah, I know my eyesight has improved since I've taken the H pill. I used to have, I could absolutely not read Facebook or emails on my phone. And it was like, I don't know, probably after about 8 or 9 months, I noticed that if I had forgot my reading glasses, I could just open it up and read it. It's still just a tiny bit difficult, but I can read it if I need to. So, eye restoration, that's cool. So then what did we do?
Well, I was just going to add that even for myself, you know, I've never had to wear glasses, but I had to wear cheaters. I'd wear my reading glasses, and usually it was only when my eyes got tired. Maybe I'd been on the computer too much, and when I say computer, usually I mean I'm on my phone, and because I use my phone as my computer most of the time nowadays. But my eyes would get fatigued, and I'd have to put my readers on, and now I don't need them anymore. In fact, Andrea, you've heard me say this, you know, probably a dozen times now in the last week.
Right.
I don't even know where they are.
Yep, he doesn't know where his are. I can't wait for that day. So then we got chased by tornadoes again, because that night at the meeting we had a bunch of local people there, and they were saying that the next day was going to be the worst tornado day ever. So
in the history of Oklahoma, the worst tornado day.
Predictions, you know. So anyway, we got up early and booked on out of there yesterday, and I've seen pictures of cloud formations and heard stories about, you know, what had hit yesterday, and it was pretty intense. So we headed on up to Omaha. Last night we met people in Omaha, had a really great group there, and caught up with some old friends. So we did another presentation there about helping people optimize their health. What would you like to say about that, Doug?
What a great presentation. We had a good turnout. About 25 people showed up last night, and we had Debbie share her story first. And wasn't that just an amazing story that Debbie had to share?
She's a lucky lady.
Oh God, 6 years ago, folks. 6 years ago, Debbie was diagnosed with stage 4 ovarian cancer, and they told her that she had a 20% survival. That was her chance of survival, was 20%. And she told her doctor, she said, I refuse to believe that. And she started taking, she got a hold of Tom, and she started taking high doses of fucoidin and resveratrol, which is in the Eternity product, and amazing results, wasn't it, Andrea?
It was great, yeah.
You know, and we can't say cure, we can't say treat, we can't say anything like that, because, you know, even chemo and things like that, they don't cure cancer, but all we're doing is we're optimizing the person's health. We're optimizing what's going on the inside so that the body can deal with what's going on. It can deal with the disease, right? Dis-ease. That's what it's dealing with, and it's working with the illness, and she got better.
She did.
I mean, she was telling me, she said that she joined a support group. Her doctor had her join a support group because, you know, usually you die, and she said there was a dozen other women in this support group along with her, and of the dozen other women, 11 of them are dead, and one of them is still alive, and that one is in hospice and basically facing near death, and Debbie's going on vacation, right?
Yep, and Debbie was, you know, meeting us for dinner. We had a great dinner with them, and her husband Paul, so that was good. And you know, you just have to be really happy about the fact that you're making changes in people's lives that are very productive and positive, you know, so that they can have a longer health span. So what else did we,
and then Carolyn got up and told her story.
Yeah.
Share her story.
Look, there's a 84-year-old woman there who was absolutely lovely. She's reverse aging, but she was just a gorgeous woman. And she was sharing that she had fallen and gotten a brain bleed in the head. So at that age, that's pretty serious stuff. Probably any age it is. But I'm going to let you talk about it because you know more about that than I do.
Yeah, we've seen her testimonial before. She shared it with us on our Friday testimonial call. But she shared that she had fallen and she had this brain bleed, you know, which is, you know, pretty serious. Most people don't recover very good. And she told her doctor, she said, yeah, you can tell me what you want to tell me, but I'm going to go do this natural stuff. And she recovered the first time it happened, and then it happened again, and she recovered from that. And just amazing. I mean, you look at her, and it's unbelievable what the kind of results that she's got.
Yeah, she didn't look 84 either. She looked really good. And then she just fell like 2 or 3 days ago again and hit her head, and she thought that she should go get that checked out, and she did, and it was fine. But she has the answers. So here we are in Iowa.
It's windy, as you can tell. You hear that in the background, all the wind. There's tornadoes being forecast all across Iowa while we're here too.
We're dodging semis and tornadoes. It's been very interesting.
And Andrea learned a new word on this trip, senolytic. She thought I was going to say another word, but no, I'm talking about senolytic cells. She's laughing. Point the camera at yourself.
No.
So she learned this word, senolytics. Tell people the easiest way to think about senolytics as we're passing these two trucks that are blocking the road.
I gotta let Kurt drive here. So anyway, senolytics is the most recent and fastest growing field of medicine right now, and it's based on study of, and hopefully they think they're going to make drugs to get rid of senescent cells. So these senescent cells are cells that aren't really dormant, they're not dead, they're just kind of hanging in the body, although they should be dead. And what they do is they give off toxins in your body and they affect the cells around them. And so they're discovering that, but it's kind of the last frontier of anti-aging. You know, Tom went to that big World
Congress of Stem Cells.
World Congress of Stem Cells over in Europe and met with Aubrey de Grey, who is like the head anti-aging guru, right? And he was explaining that, you know, getting rid of the senescent cells was the next big step to anti-aging. And of course, you know, the companies out there, they're trying to dream up ways to do that. In fact, Kurt can share some info in a minute with you about that. But so Tom has put together a formulation that he's coming out with that will get rid of these senescent cells. They also call them zombie cells. So if you look up senolytics or you look up senescent cells on the internet, you'll see a lot of talk about zombie cells. So you can understand that, right? Zombie cells, they go around destroying things. So anyway, tell them about what Mayo Clinic is doing.
Yeah, so the science of senolytics is really pretty simple, is that all of our cells have a pre-programmed expiration date. And the reason for that is because after a cell's been around too long, the DNA is damaged. It has more risk of being a cell that's affected by free radicals. And so what God did is he designed us in a way that cells have an expiration date, and it's pre-programmed into the cell. Well, what happens with senolytic cells is those are cells that don't listen to the expiration date. Those are cells that have decided that, oh, no, I'm not going to go away. And so what happens, like Andrea said, they create problems in the body. They block your body from making normal, healthy cells, because your body only has room for so many cells. I mean, if you've got a room that's filled to capacity with 50 people, and 10 of those people are people that shouldn't be there, then they're taking up the room for the 10 other people who should be there. And so think of it that way. And that's what's happening in your body, is that your body has these senolytic cells that should be gone, right? They should be vacating, and they're still there. And so that blocks your body from making new healthy cells, new healthy stem cells, new healthy heart cells, brain cells, whatever it happens to be. And so the science of senolytics, let's get your body to respond to that normal message, that pre-programmed message that's in there already, and get these cells to disappear like they're supposed to. And you know, so a lot of these drug companies now, they're jumping on the bandwagon, you know, because last year when they rewrote the International Classification of Disease, the ICD-11 book, it's about that thick. It's a book that has all the diseases in the world. They listed aging as a disease, and that means they can start treating aging. And so now all the drug companies and the pharmaceutical companies, the hospital systems, they want to treat aging because they know there's money in it. That now we can start, you know, like Aubrey de Grey said, we can start giving people more medicine. We can start giving people more drugs. Well, I don't look at that as a good thing. I don't know what you think, but you know, give us a thumbs down if you agree with me that that's not a good thing. You know, give us an unhappy face.
Yeah,
and
face.
Because that's not good. We don't need more reasons that doctors can give us more drugs. We need to find ways of giving people more natural things. But the drug that Andrea is talking about is that, you know, they're going to give people some chemo. They found that certain chemos will help with the senolytic cells. But the problem with it is that whenever you give somebody a drug like chemo, there's side effects to it. So I don't necessarily agree with their theory, especially when there's natural things that you can use. You can use extracts from fruits and vegetables and herbs and things like that will do the same thing. So later on this year, we know that Tom's coming out with a product. He's already told us that he's coming out with a product. He's already shared some of the science with us. I'm going to guess, wouldn't you say, Andrea, probably at Mauer Mountain, which
in September.
That's a good reason for all of you to go to Mauer Mountain. Go to Mauer Mountain in September. So what weekend is it?
12th and 13th.
Oh, September 12th and 13th.
I think so. Yeah.
Who's going? Give me a thumbs up if you're going. You know, give me an old smiley face. You know, if you're going, you should go to Mauer Mountain. It's going to be a great time. And now you're going to get to meet the, you know, Tom, Super Tom. You know, I'm going to buy him a T-shirt, a superhero T-shirt with a big T on his chest because, you know, here's a guy that he's in it for the right reason. Wouldn't you say he should have a Super Tom T-shirt?
Yeah, he should have.
And here's a guy that you know, we should give him. He should have a cape and maybe a mask too. We should get him a mask.
Yeah.
I might buy him. Who wants to chip in and help me buy Tom a superhero costume?
I'll do it.
Right? Let's get him a superhero costume for Mauer Mountain. You know, but I'm sure that's when he's going to announce this product, and chances are you'll have the opportunity to buy it. You'll have an opportunity to experience it for the first time, but you'll hear about it right from Tom, right from the scientist who developed it. So, yeah, exactly. You know.
Yep. So that's about it. Although.
Oh no, we got to share Mike's testimony.
Oh, Mike. Oh my gosh, yes. Mike. I don't know if you're on here, Mike, or you'll see this, but we have Mike who, we have videos of Mike from his little testimony last year, like a year ago. He had MS for about 25 years. However, he quit taking medications for MS years and years ago. He still went to Dr. Kim down in Detroit for chiropractic adjustments for his pain and his hips and stuff like that. And so when Mike first started taking the age pill, Dr. Kim said, I think you should try this. He had phenomenal results. Like within 2 to 3 weeks, he had walked back into Dr. Kim's office, big old grin on his face. And previous to then, Dr. Kim couldn't understand anything. He'd come in and talk to him, and he was like, he'd just, yeah, okay, yeah, because he couldn't understand anything Mike said.
Kind of like when you're talking to your spouse, right? He does, yeah.
Exactly. Or your travel partner.
Oh, yeah, right.
So, anyway, he had great results, and, you know, he was happy. Some of his pain had left within that first month, and he could actually talk better, so Dr. Kim could start hearing. We had a call we did about that time, and we had him on it. I didn't have any problem understanding him, which was, and Dr. Kim came on that call and says, you guys don't understand. Like, I seriously couldn't understand what this man said before. So that was great. But then we did the meeting in Detroit the other day, and Mike came. Previous to that, he couldn't drive anymore because he lost some of his eyesight, and he had problems with his hips and stuff, so he couldn't drive anymore. He drove to the meeting. He's got his license back. He drove to the meeting. He walked in. He seriously, I mean, I never met him before. This was my first time meeting him, but I saw him in the video. He seriously, to me, looked 15 years younger. When you say, Doc?
Oh, at least 15 years younger. When I saw him walking through the corridor into the office, into the waiting room there, I looked at him and I'm like, holy crap.
Right?
I mean, unbelievable. The guy looked 15 to 20 years younger than he did a year ago. And he's walking. He's carrying his cane, but he's not using it. He's just carrying it. and I think he's carrying it more to hit people with. But, Mike, if you're watching, I'm sure that's why you carry a cane. But he drove up, looks 15 years younger, and he just starts talking away. And I'm telling you, I mean, if you didn't know that he ever had MS, you would know that he had MS.
Yeah, and, you know, I had a private conversation with him there that night, and he was telling me that some of the things that occur when you have MS, you know, he had been suffering with those, and sometimes they're socially, they handicap you socially, and he said, you know, like, those problems are gone away too. So that was really awesome, and it was great to meet him and see his results. He actually got up and he talked for, what, 15 minutes, sharing information about what he had experienced and what taking the H pill had optimized in his body to help him. So that was really great.
Well, what I want to share, Andrea, is that, you know, a lot of people, they hear testimonials, and of course, you know, you hear these testimonials from all sorts of nutrition companies and network marketing companies, and you go, oh yeah, I've heard that before, and you know, and I think a lot of people, they start to think, no, it's not true, it's you know, it's all made up. But I'll tell you, what I love about our products with our company, with Sisel, is that we actually have real science that backs up what we're saying. Now, we can't say that our product has been tested, clinically with people with MS. We can't say that there's been scientific studies on our product. But what we can say is that there's been scientific studies on the ingredients. And when you take a look at the scientific studies on the ingredients of the H pill, I think it was 2 years ago, studies came out and they said that using these niacin and nicotinamide and niacinamide, these types of ingredients, this NMN, nicotinamide mononucleotide type of ingredients, they found that what it does for people that have MS is an autoimmune disorder, which means that your immune system is attacking the nerve system and it's destroying the nervous system. And what they found was that these types of extracts, these types of vitamins, just a form of vitamin B3, what it does is it helps the nervous system and it helps the immune system, so it balances it out. And they found that once it's balanced out the immune system and the nervous system, then what happens is, it's pretty amazing. They found that the same immune system that had been attacking your nervous system, it went back and it actually helped to rebuild those same nerves that it was attacking. And that's how it helps out with MS and other autoimmune disorders. If you know people that have Crohn's disease, if you know people that have rheumatoid arthritis, if you know people that have all sorts of autoimmune disorders, that's how it works. And it's not science on our product. I mean, I want to make that perfectly clear. This is science on the ingredients. And so as long as we're sharing the fact that we're saying it's not science on our product, it's science on the ingredients, and I can send you to those websites, I can send you to those links, I can send you to the university studies where they show this, I can back that up. Isn't that cool?
It is. It's very cool. And we have that testimony from Margaret out in Washington, who ordered the H pill, started taking it October 4th, 2017. And in February, we had her on a testimony call, but she'd had back surgery before, and she had arthritis showing on x-rays up and down her spine. And then she went back after about 4 years of taking the H pill, or 4 months of taking the H pill. And by her, she determined she wanted another x-ray to see what was going on in there, so she got it done. Her doctor called her and said, how you go in and tell doctors you're taking this great natural stuff, but they don't really listen to you? Well, he called her up and said, what was that stuff you're taking? Because you don't have any arthritis in your spine at all anymore. So that's another great story that we have recorded, and you can share with people. So, just great information all over. And this new H2 product, the CBD oil product, we're just getting people having great results with those things. So if you're looking for optimizing your health, biohacking your body, get back to the person who brought you to this call or whose page you saw this on, and they'll be glad to help you. You got any closing words there, Doc?
Thanks for watching. Thanks for spending some time with us, and yeah, we're having a lot of fun and sharing a lot of stories. If you'd like to share your story with us, if you'd like to share it here on this channel so other people can benefit, because that's the whole thing, is that as humans, we're wired in a way that we want to help other people. Even if you don't get paid to do it, you want to help other people. If you see someone that's suffering, don't you want to go over there and help them? And that's how we are. And so these products, they help people get the benefit. And the only way that that other people are gonna know about it is if you share your story. And so let us know what your story is. Let's get you on here. Let's get you on a recording and get that out. Actually, this Friday, it's Testimonial Friday, isn't it?
Yes, it is.
Let me know.
Okay.
Have a great day.
Have a great day, guys. Talk to you later. Bye.